Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, I just can't make it through the damn day. I try, but I can't make it without you guys, man. So don't worry, the Joe Boo Sports Report ain't going nowhere, and quite frankly, there's always drama when you're dealing with the Dallas Cowboys. And I mean, there is always drama. There's always something to talk about. Because even when we're not playing, stuff's happening. Always. Here it is, the day after a loss, where you figure the season is literally over, and the Dallas Cowboys, even though we're only an hour away from kickoff of other games, we're still the talk of the town. That's the Dallas Cowboys for me. That's one of the great things about being a Dallas Cowboy blogger. There's always material. So after that gut-wrenching loss last night, and I see Sandman is actually calling me right now. Hold on, let's check this out. Hello?
Hey, what's up, Mark? It's Sandman. Sorry about yesterday.
Oh, hold on, Sandman. I'm actually in the middle of talking to the fans right here, doing a video before I have to run out, talking about our Dallas Cowboys. You know how amazing it is that the fact that the Dallas Cowboys just lost, there's always something to talk about. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. Always.
So it's great timing that you called, because we're looking at already some of the things that are going to shape this team's future. Kris Richard, who we worried about losing, is looking at the Dallas Cowboys and planning on being here, and he looks at it, and he is actually going to the mat to make sure Jason Garrett is back.
Wow. Really?
Yeah, he believes that
relationship.
That Michael's over here with his mouth literally wide open here in shock.
At least that's got Linda here.
Okay, so at least. So this is impromptu, guys. I did not tell him to call me or anything else. I sat down here because I got to go over and fix some stuff, and it was that whole situation where Kris Richard is actually looking at this as a partnership. And then you think of how, damn it, Pete Carroll and them didn't get along after that Super Bowl. That's kind of amazing dynamic, because I thought it was kind of like Kris Richard was looking to be the head person in charge, and didn't think. Go ahead.
Yeah, but let me ask you something, Mark.
Okay.
That's interesting that you bring that up, because after last night's game, I was a little upset, but I wasn't too upset. But the way the defense got torched, I know Kris Richard was going off on the sideline and everything.
Yeah.
Do you think that he's taking it personal, like if I'm coming back next year to prove something? We got some unfinished business.
I think so. And very much so. And here's the thing I think he thinks about too, because love the Cowboys or hate the Cowboys, you are in the spotlight, okay? Even though you had the Legion of Boom play the way it did, people really didn't know Kris Richard. Think about that. You're talking about the #1 scoring defense 3 years in a row, won a Super Bowl, should have won a second one with no fault of theirs. But how many people really knew about Kris Richard until he came to Dallas?
To be honest with you, I don't think he was on anybody's radar like that.
Exactly. But 1 year in Dallas, when you see what he did, which is nothing different than what he did in Seattle, all of a sudden, he's a candidate where I want to talk to him. Multiple teams are looking at him. So I think he's looking at that from a dynamic of, I can go to Miami, which hasn't won it forever. You got New England against Bill Belichick and stuff like that. Do I want to end up being like one of these coaches that goes to a team that just doesn't win anymore and be one and done? Or do I want to stay here in Dallas and try and say, let's get this thing over the hump, where basically you win it here, you can write your ticket anywhere?
Well, that's true. You know, I kind of had this conversation with E2 about this, and he was like, man, it's short-lived. I can't believe he's already possibly moving on. And I'm not going to lie, I was worried as hell that he would go to the Dolphins.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and people don't realize. Now, this defense has been building up for years. I mean, this started from 2013 when Rod Martinelli came through, and we were 32nd in the NFL. We let go of DeMarcus Ware. We let go of Jason Hatcher. Sean Lee tore up his knee. But this defense has been steadily improving. It's just that sometimes you just have games like that. Like last night, they coached and called a better game plan that negated our pass rush and our strengths. And, that happens. The other interesting thing is, and this will make Michael happy, is Sean Lee is contemplating his future.
He's their coach.
So Sean Lee is thinking about, my body is failing me at this point where I cannot stay on the field at an elite level. And he is thinking about, is it time? And it may be. And that's one of those things that it's going to be hard for the Cowboys because Sean Lee is a guy like Romo that gave everything on the field, his body, his mind, and everything else. And when he played out there, he played with reckless abandon. But you could see last night, he just does not have it like he once did. And players get old. And he's recognizing that. And for the Cowboys, if he does retire, that also opens up the door for more cash. We're talking about $9 million they save next year, where you can maybe get some other parts and stuff. So there's a lot of hard decisions and things that are getting ready to be made with this team. And, of course, we're going to still be here. So everybody who's been worried that, oh, my God, the season's over, you're not going to see Joe Boo Sports Report, we still going to be here. So, Sam, man, you got anything you want to add with that?
Well, just to add on to the last statement you made about Sean Lee, he's a team captain. He's a great team player. And regardless of, how everything ended up, Father Time is undefeated. And with that said, I believe he wants to do his best for the team. And I really think that he hasn't went down that avenue yet, but if he would consider being a linebacker assistant coach, the way he studies in the film room and the way he pays attention to detail is only going to help our defense.
And I believe, honestly, I'm not there on the sideline. I wish I were there on the sidelines, but I believe that Van Der Esch's progression has been because of Sean Lee is there. In the same way that I look at, say, Joe Looney, having Travis Frederick out there, who's still like the general on the field, it's actually helped those players become better players. So you are 100% right. That's a guy you want to keep in the organization, much like they keep a guy like Leon Lett and so forth. And that's the thing that, as bad as this feels today, you have to look at this Dallas Cowboy as a family and a close-knit group. Because being the defensive coordinator for the Dallas Cowboys is great and all that, but it's a whole nother thing to be a head coach and to be able to put your imprint on it. And for Kris Richard to kind of say, I'm okay with being a defensive coordinator here with Dallas, tells me that it's personal, a personal affection for the team. And the same way that Sean Lee is saying, you know what, maybe I'm not the answer anymore. Maybe I need to look at it differently. Instead of being selfish and say I want to play, what can I do for the Dallas Cowboys as a family? When you hear about Dak Prescott saying that he's not trying to break the bank, to me, all of these things point to these guys being close-knit and trying to build something together. Even Will McClay, who said years ago he could be a general manager anywhere.
That's true.
I've got unfinished business here to win that Super Bowl.
Yeah, I think you've hit on something right there that we don't think about as Cowboy fans, but I think our whole franchise from top to bottom, from upper management to the players to the coaches and everything, I think now we're starting to see a whole different dynamic, a different generation, a different way of thinking. I think we're moving forward from the old way of doing things, and I think everybody is in a foxhole and back to back and trying to fight their way out of something. I feel like we're together on the same sheet of music at all times. And we lost, and granted, and there's some things that I wish things would have been different. I wish Travis Frederick would have been out there to block Ndamukong Suh.
Right.
And Aaron Donald. But we didn't. We did the best we can. And you know what?
We competed.
We lost, but we lost with dignity. We didn't get blown out, and we fought back. And for those people who say it's Dad's fault, that man fought in the passing game because we couldn't run the ball to at least stay in the game. Granted, he wasn't perfect, and he's got work to do.
But wait, hold on. Let me see. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can pull up something real quick, because I just, like I said, I do these things, and people always ask me, you have a script or something like that. I just come down here and I just literally just talk. I'll go through, I will see something, and it will bug the crap out of me, and then I will talk about it. And let me see if I can find. Here's the thing. Here's what I want people to understand, because we know people are always talking about Dak, dink and dunk, Dak trash cat. You know, we lost the game because of Dak Prescott. Zeke Elliott had 2.4 yards per carry yesterday, 50 yards. Your defense gave up over 200 some yards on the ground. Okay, between us and the Colts, we were 1 out of 19 on third down. I mean, it was just bad all the way around. But here's the thing. Dak Prescott in his final 15 games of 2018 and the playoffs, okay? 68.4% completion rate, 3,879 yards, 7.7 yards per attempt, 22 passing TDs to 7 interceptions, 100 passer rating, 252 yards rushing, and 8 rushing TDs.
Not bad for a 3-year quarterback.
Okay, think about that for just a second here. That's 15 games. A season is 16 games, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you add one more game on there, you got 4,000 plus yards passing.
Wow.
Okay? And just assume that he's, 22 passing TDs in 50 games, that's 1.1. So you're saying maybe 23 or 24 passing touchdowns on a season. You're saying maybe one more interception's 8. You're saying 8 rushing TDs. So you're talking about 30. If this 15 games were a whole season, you're talking about 4,000-yard passer. You're talking about 23, 24 touchdown passes. You're talking about 8 rushing TDs. So you're talking about 32 touchdowns and 4,000 yards. I'm sick and tired of all this. He sucks. Because take a look around at the numbers of what quarterbacks have done this season. It's not a whole lot that have done a hell of a lot better, especially when you think about how little we pass the ball.
Well, to build on that, Dak can't do everything. He can't go out there and the offense, go up against the offensive line and play defense. He plays quarterback. He can't. Somebody rush it. Both of those running backs last night, C.J. Anderson,
they beat
Gurley. Didn't they both rush over for like 150 yards apiece almost?
Yeah, I mean, they were over like 250 yards rushing. And I mean, it was just, and when a team is able to run like that, you didn't get that many opportunities with the offense.
Period. They keep the ball. But see,
what they did was they pulled the Dallas Cowboys on us.
Yeah, that's exactly. But let me ask you something.
Mm-hmm.
As much as people say football has changed, is passing, and that's true to an extent, but at the end of the day, when it comes playoff time, it always reverts to the fundamentals of football. You have to control the line of scrimmage, period. I don't care if you're a skilled player, quarterback, whatever. If you control the line of scrimmage, you control the clock. And if you have a decent defense and stop the other person's run, that's the name of the game, period. It's won in the trenches.
Amen.
Period.
Yeah. So, anyway, I'm going to end this video real quick. But, Sam, man, you hold on real quick. But, guys, we're all upset today. But don't be upset. Listen, we were one of 8 teams that had opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. I know it hurts that we're not going to be one of those. But, listen, there's 24 other ones that didn't even have that opportunity. Okay? We could be the Cleveland Browns. Think about that. This team is young. It's family. They're going to make some changes, hopefully for the better, and we'll see what happens. It's not like we're an aging team where this guy's retiring, that guy. The future is bright for this team, and I believe in them. You don't want to? That's fine. But on this channel, we're going to look for the positive, and we're going to keep on spreading the mojo. So I will see you guys soon.